administration plans to keep fewer than 300 USAID staff out of over 10,000 worldwide, according to Reuters sources. The sources said only 294 agency staff would keep their jobs. The USAID website stated that as of midnight on Friday, all direct hires will be on leave except for key personnel and critical programs. Hundreds of internal contractors have been laid off, and life-saving programs around the globe have been left in limbo. On Thursday, protesters rallied outside the U.S. State Department to voice their opposition to cuts. One of the affected programs is the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. The U.S. government program has invested millions fighting AIDS worldwide, and PEPFAR relies heavily on U.S. aid. Charles King was among the protesters Thursday. He's CEO of Housing Works, a nonprofit dedicated to combating AIDS and homelessness.
We're blocking an intersection to let Donald Trump and Secretary of State Rubio know that they need to let PEPFAR funding flow.
Are you willing to be arrested?
Of course, absolutely. People are dying for lack of treatment, so we're absolutely willing to get arrested to ensure that they get access to treatment that they really need.
The U.S. State Department did not respond to a request for comment. On Thursday, the Trump administration was sued by government workers over its rapid shutdown of U.S. aid. The lawsuit seeks to block, quote, unconstitutional and illegal actions causing a, quote, global humanitarian crisis, and was filed by the American Federation of Government Employees and the American Foreign Service Association. The White House and the departments did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The administration has said it aims to merge U.S. aid with the State Department. However, Congress must approve the merger, since U.S. aid was created and funded by law. In 2023, USAID provided aid to around 130 countries, many affected by conflict and poverty.
As demonstrations against President Donald Trump and his special government employee, Elon Musk, sweep the country, a judge on Thursday temporarily blocked the administration's proposed buyout for federal workers until at least Monday. That's after labor unions sued to stop it. Now, there's a Monday hearing on the issue. Federal workers are under pressure from the Trump administration to leave their jobs in an unprecedented drive to overhaul the government.
Everybody's replaceable.
Workers had faced a midnight deadline to make their decision. The offer promises to pay employees salaries until October, but that may not be ironclad. Current spending laws expire on March 14th, and there is no guarantee that salaries will be funded beyond that point. Many Democrats and labor unions said the offer is not trustworthy. Here's Jacqueline Simon from the American Federation of Government Employees.
We don't think it's on any kind of sound legal footing. They do not seem to care about the millions of Americans who depend on the services that federal employees provide.
And the backlash to Trump's government overhaul is growing.
The movement is growing. I mean, we've only had to deal with him for the last 16 days. So I think people are waking up to what we're faced with and are going to be coming into the streets.
The buyout is on the table for not only employees at domestic agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, but intelligence agencies like the CIA as well. The White House has said more than 40,000 people had accepted the buyout offer so far. That's roughly 2% of the federal government's 2.3 million civilian workforce.
For Palestinians who've returned to Jabalia in the northern Gaza Strip, the day often begins here, lining up as a truck distributes water, which must then be carried to wherever they've found shelter. Shaher al-Kurdi is a father of 8.
I need at least 1,000 liters every day to meet my needs. How do I get these 1,000 liters? I get them like I'm carrying this 20-liter gallon every day from morning until night. I keep on transporting water. This is only for water. It's okay. I mean, this is our fate.
Al-Kurdi recalls a time when a United Nations relief agency provided plentiful water. But that was before Israel's devastating bombardment triggered by the October 7, 2023 attack by Palestinian gunmen on Israeli communities.
From October 7th onwards, we started suffering. Today, after the Israeli army stayed in Jabalia for 3 months, we came back and found no well working.
Saad ad-Dabur is an engineer with the Jabalia municipality. He said the city once met its needs with abundant well water.
In Jabalia, there are 30 large wells with the capacity of producing 100 cubic meters of water every hour. Unfortunately, approximately 25 wells were totally destroyed, and there are only 5 wells remaining that are in working condition that can produce water and supply the people. Also, 80% of the water and sewage network was completely destroyed.
He said a few wells had been restored, but they rely on motorized pumps, and fuel for the pumps is scarce. Almost the entire population of Gaza was displaced by the fighting. A truce between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas has permitted thousands to return to what had been their homes, but the infrastructure that once sustained them is depleted or gone. Al-Kurdi said there's not enough water even to bathe the children as needed.
We used to bathe twice a day. Now this boy bathes once a week if he's lucky. The situation is tough, very tough. The children cannot bathe. The lack of bathing also results in diseases and insects and big problems.
An update from the UN Humanitarian Office in January showed that less than a quarter of the pre-war water supplies are available to Palestinians.
Despite heavy wind, rains and fears of expulsion, Gazans said on Thursday they were more determined than ever to stay put. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz ordered the army to prepare a plan to allow for the, quote, voluntary departure of residents from Gaza. A day after US President Donald Trump announced plans to seize the enclave and expel them. Those plans drew worldwide condemnation, and rights groups warned they'd amount to ethnic cleansing. Displaced Gazan Wa'el al-Mamluk.
God is greater than Trump and America and Israel. We will not emigrate. We are steadfast on our land. They destroyed our houses and killed our children, but we are steadfast.
Trump said on Thursday on his Truth Social platform that Israel would hand Gaza to the United States after fighting was over, and the enclave's population was resettled elsewhere, which he said meant no US troops would be needed on the ground. Regional heavyweight and US ally Saudi Arabia rejected the proposal outright. Jordan's King Abdullah, who will meet Trump at the White House next week, said on Wednesday he rejected any attempts to annex land and displace Palestinians. Displacement of the Palestinians is one of the Middle East's most sensitive issues. Forced or coerced displacement of a population under military occupation is a war crime, banned under the Geneva Conventions.